What about favorite hounds?
Oh, we had a hound. For me, the most favorite hound was a hound named Pommel, and he just did everything that he was supposed to.
Smart, I take it.
Smart and hunt. He accounted for 2 coyotes in one day and went about 18 miles to do that. And he was fast, and he understood the game. He'd lose the scent of a coyote, and he'd go over this way, what we call a cast, on his own, and turn and go back this way, and he'd do it all by himself. And
pretty smart about responding to voice commands.
You never had to get after him.
Horns or whistles or whatever.
Yeah. You just tell him what you want done, and he'd do it.
How long does one of the hounds last?
They last about 8 years. 8 years.
That's all?
We average, as you mentioned earlier, and I keep track of that, we average 18 miles in 2 hours and 45 minutes, over 75 hunts. And they'll go 30% further than we do.
Right.
And so they work. And they really enjoy what they do.
So it's true that you know the name of every hound that's currently in
I do.
the group?
Yeah, I do. And that's so important.
They respond to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a, for the point-to-point, we have a hound race. We fudge the hounds a little. We lay a scent. It's actually coyote feces in a bucket, and sock and drag it. And the people buy the hounds for the race. And so we did that and those hounds will be running, and I'm galloping really fast, and within 50 yards of the finish line, I tell them to stop, and Sunday they just all stopped and came back. They and we've got several other good ones. We used to have a hound here. He was a white hound, and I can't think of his name right now, but he was a wonderful hound. I can remember right over here, just at the foot of Rocky Hill, one day he was chasing this coyote, and chasing him, and they were just, the other hounds were run down, and we were trying to catch him. He sat down, the coyote sat down, and he sat down, and they sat there and looked at one another. Pretty soon the coyote got up and run off. He took after him again, but they were just both of them exhausted. They just weren't going to do anything about it.
One of the stories that the docents have told on occasion was something about a coyote named Mariah.
Yeah.
Do you know anything?
Yeah, I sure do.
Tell us the story.
Well, this was after I got out of school. We'd go out exercising, and I was helping Dad, and pretty soon you'd hear this coyote not sitting and howling, but kind of, you know how they sort of have little short bursts and kind of change the pitch, and you'd hear this coyote, and there she'd be.
Where was this?
Oh, it was mostly between here and the South Ranch, on the ridges, between the 2 ridges. She'd be in that area.
Yep.
And you just ride by her, and she'd stay away, because the hounds would take after if they saw her. And but she did that for, I suppose, 4 or 5 years, which is unusual for a coyote to live there. Yeah, must have been acted the same way and had the same. You know, we say it was the same coyote, but who's to know for sure? It's yeah. We get some Mariah subsidiaries like that. We had one this year out there that she had a certain place that you'd go by there, and pretty soon you'd hear her start to bark at you, and you'd go watch this. There she'd be.